Hello, this is Smislav the Slayer doing a live Blitz chess game commentary. It's the first one I've done in a while. I hope everyone's had a good holiday season, Christmas and New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day actually. Um, so interestingly, I've actually over the past couple weeks I went down to 1400, real low rating wise, and then just in the last couple days I've been able to boost my rating up to about 1500. So I guess that's pretty good. 1500 is about, So anyway, I'm going to try to as far as a New Year's resolution type thing, I want to try to get my Blitz rating up to 1600. And I think mostly it's just a matter of concentrating when I play and not just thinking about too much other stuff. So I'm actually going to stop talking about that and look at the game. It's kind of a weird game here. My pieces are all pretty cramped up here. And a d5 is an alright square for my knight. But then what happens after e4? Well, then there's a backward d-pawn. I really got to get this knight off e5 somehow. And I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about doing that. c5 actually, c5 looks pretty solid. Takes, bishop takes. c5 I think is the way to go here. And if b5, then I think just b6. Now b6 doesn't actually look that good. At least not at this point. Maybe knight to... I think knight to d5 at this point. Knight to d5. And then if e4, then knight to b6. I think looks pretty good actually. And then if knight takes, then I'll have this knight take. If knight takes b6, then I'll have this knight take b6, which will keep my pawn structure pretty solid. This c5 pawn should be pretty decently protected for a bit, for a while. And now I think f6 is going to be what I want to do here. Pretty positive. And now if, say, like knight to f3, okay, if that, now how do I want to handle this? Two ways. I can do queen takes d7, which attacks the b5 pawn, which I kind of like actually. Possibly puts pressure down. It protects the e6 pawn too. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, I guess both ways do. I don't think I want the bishop on d7. The queen I don't want on d7 either, but the bishop I think might want to even go on f7. So that's why I took that way. Now we've got this knight here on c4 as a problem. We also have the b4 square now, which doesn't give me anything quite yet. I'm actually going to go ahead and just play bishop to f7 right off the bat. I think I like this. Gives extra support to what is sort of become my central pawns, the f6 and e6 pawns, guarding these two squares. c5 is pretty decently protected. I think now I'm going to go ahead and play b6. Especially, yeah, now his rook is off the a file, so the a5 push is not nearly as good. He put his rook on the c file, so giving this c pawn extra protection I think is pretty decent. Getting everything off this long diagonal is also pretty nice. And that move kind of makes me think about knight to b4, but I'm not positive what that gives me. Actually, I wonder if h5, h4 is something to consider. I don't think I'm quite prepared for that. I don't really have anywhere to attack at this point. I guess the idea is he plays a5. I think I will go ahead and play knight to b4. With the idea basically of just getting this, clearing out my space a little bit here, giving my pieces some room to breathe. Now actually I'm going to go ahead and play knight to d5 again, now that we have something to attack. And if knight takes, bishop takes, what I'm going to try to do here is exchange off his light squared bishop. And I guess I will have a bad bishop against his, but his isn't that great, to be honest. Bishop to d6, bishop to... Okay, he's not even going to try that. Going to go ahead and play bishop to d6. Defending a7 and b6 is going to be pretty helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right away. It's a little bit confusing me. I'm going to go play rook f7. Not the idea of doubling rooks just gives me some extra spaces to put this on. I'm going to go ahead and play rook to... now I have everything on the d file. Yeah. Now I have e4 and c4 pawn pushes. First I'm going to go ahead and play rook king to f7, get my king to the center, which I can actually do pretty decently. And then now here's where the bishop being over here is pretty helpful, because there's not any way he can really take that out. And if he goes here, he can play just that. Very simple. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and want to play h5. I don't know about that. That might have been real bad. I should have probably played h6. G5. Basically, I want to try to advance these pawns, break open some lines over here. Yeah. And now I can try to push something in the middle. Get these pawns in here and invade. While his invasion is sort of stalling, not doing anything, the idea is that my invasion will be very good. That's the idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work. We'll see. So now f5 in order to play g4 in case of the rook to the h. And the king can always come over here and defend this g pawn. If he takes. If he just plays f5, then I guess take. Now he does have rook to h6, so I think I'll play just king to f7, maybe, probably. Yeah, king to f7. Okay, so he's gonna just do it that way. Okay, try to break it open now. What the major idea is rook to e2 check. I guess that's not really that helpful. Well, we'll see how it goes. I guess it's not check, but I think the invading here is probably decent. I might have just sacrificed a lot of pawns for no good reason. We'll see. So he's got to move his bishop somewhere. Then what do I do? No, he doesn't, I guess. He can go there. Okay. So he's not going to take that g4 pawn. That I think is excellent. That's great for me. Now I have king to, yeah. Ooh, that's a big blunder. Ah, and he misses it. How nice. How swell. Yeah, and then I blunder again, actually. Just kind of funny, the way it's all working out. So, yeah. Okay. The idea is just going to try to push these pawns up. Probably not happening. I think he's going to be able to trade off rooks, and yeah. It's pretty much over now, so I'm going to go ahead and resign. Well, I mean, he was pretty high rated, so I actually put up a pretty decent game. Let's see. And I was focusing too. That's one thing. Aside from that blunder at the end, I wasn't like losing too much focus here, which is good. This actually was a little bit suspect. Yes, e4 move. Probably really suspect actually. I think he should have just played e4 or takes, and now there. Maybe just, I think bishop. Well, I guess the bishop doesn't have a great spot. He could maybe go to a1. And I can't really protect this g-pawn anyway. And I can't really attack this thing very well. So I don't really see like what I would be able to do. He kind of went in for complications that he didn't really need to. Like I don't think he needed to trade that rook there, because most of my rooks, they weren't, I don't know. Okay, so in here he missed. That's actually a pretty just really terrible blunder. And the reason he missed is because he had his own tactic that he was focused on. So that kind of makes sense. Um, yeah, so I think, sorry, I was just thinking about the position here. Yeah, so I guess from this point on was pretty, I really needed to play something. Hmm. This whole bishop setup didn't actually end up working very well. So that's what he's been going for the whole time. Yeah, I mean, he played pretty well, so um, it was like a pretty well set up tactic he had. I kind of ruined it by just blundering a piece, a rook, but he still ended up playing it anyway. And so I think like at this point, like real early on here, yeah, this was the bad move. That I just shouldn't have played that. That was really bad. So what should I have played then? I should have played. I'm not sure what I should have played. I kind of got myself in a bind here. This whole expansion, I think, was just wrong too, actually. I wonder if I should have just played f5 and e4. No, that's not good. I do need to break open this e so this d file. So, however I was able to do that, something I would want to do. Maybe actually just king to f5. No, e4 check. That doesn't look very good. Maybe rook to d6, then king to f5. I don't know about that. That looks kind of weird. It might work. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting game with a lot of. I don't know if I was bad. I don't think I was that much worse here, but I think I was definitely slightly worse. He has like an edge here, and I guess it is just because of this bishop, but I'm not sure. So, all right, thanks for watching.